Kani Basami is an extremely controversial takedown and is classified as Kinshiwaza in Judo, which roughly translates as banned technique. If you are to perform this illegal technique, in most competitions, this will be an immediate disqualification. Although the flying scissors is not banned from all grappling competitions, it doesn't feature in Judo or Gi BJJ competitions at all. It should also be noted that Kani Basami is still a legal and accepted technique in most no-gi competitions as well as sambo tournaments. Legendary coach John Danaher claims this is the most dangerous form of takedown, and as a result, he doesn't allow this when sparring under his supervision. Whilst his students such as Gary Tonin have successfully performed this in competition, you can imagine this is from drilling the move due to the ban from Danaher. The issue with this technique is that if performed incorrectly, it can completely blow out the knee of your opponent. The reason why flying scissors is thought to be so dangerous is that it features uncontrolled body weight thrown forwards in a unidirectional manner against the opponent's knee. This is universally the most dangerous use of force and weight in any grappling sport. Kani Basami is unlike most other judo techniques, which usually either feature a throwing motion or a sweeping motion. Kani Basami is certainly not a throw and could only be very loosely classified as a leg sweep. Before the technique became forbidden, it was classified as a nagewaza, which roughly translates as throwing technique, as well as a sacrifice. It should be noted, it is not one of the original judo throws created by Kano Jigoro. The idea behind the mechanics of the Kani Basami is to get as deep as you possibly can on your opponent's standing leg. This increases the chance that your force will take them down, as well as reducing their chance of injury from poorly placed shallow hooks. When forcing your weight into the opponent, the idea is to drive them directly backwards. Whilst your hips are facing sideways through your opponent's body, this is not the way you want to force them. It will be impossible to make your opponent move this way since their other leg is based and completely free. By driving them backward, they only have one leg to step back with, and this will not be enough to keep them standing on their feet. When the Kani Basami is completed, you should end up in top position with full control of the entangled leg, or a heavily advantageous leg lock position with again full control of the entangled leg. So why is Kani Basami dangerous and illegal? Firstly, it must be stated that when drilled in a sterile and non-resisting environment, the Kani Basami should not be really any more dangerous than any other judo technique. This is because the UK is essentially a grappling dummy. They will stand very still, not resist your techniques, and know exactly what you're about to attempt. When training in randori or competition, these factors change drastically. If you include variations, there are literally hundreds of judo throws and foot sweeps. Your opponent has little to no idea what you're about to attempt if they've never met you before and don't know your skill level. Even if you are facing a regular sparring partner, there is no guarantee that they haven't learned a new technique today, and today is the day they will try it. This is when Kani Basami becomes dangerous. It requires a sideways angle, but is mostly a vertical jump. If your opponent moves further away, or the distance is regularly changing, you must also jump a little horizontally. If you jump too far away from your target, you are simply going to land flat on the ground and have no connection with the opponent. However, if you jump too close to the opponent, you will crash into their knee at an unnatural angle, causing either or both the ACL and the LCL to snap. These knee ligament injuries are often horrific and require surgery as well as many months of rehab. Examples of Kani Basami injuries: Kani Basami injury videos are not for the faint of heart, and if you are squeamish, please do not watch this section. In this video, we can see what happens when Kani Basami is performed in an uncontrolled setting. The opponent is moving backwards, and the man in black is simply too far away to complete this technique. In addition to this, he does not have a 90-degree angle on his opponent. This causes him to reach too far and get a very shallow leg entanglement. The result speaks for itself. It should be noted that this is not even the most common way to injure someone from a Kani Basami. This usually happens when a jump is far too deep on the opponent's leg and all of the force goes sideways straight through the knee. Over the years, the IJF has banned a huge number of techniques, but this one certainly seems justified. Kani Basami should only really be performed by expert grapplers under a rule set which everyone is comfortable with and knowledgeable of. As a result, this technique deserves its infamous reputation just because so many things can go wrong and the potential injuries are horrific.